cool outfits on. I do good.
You're good. All right. We'll let Coach open with a statement, but first I'd like to congratulate head coach Ed Cooley on his 350th win as a collegiate.
Oh wow, congratulations.
Thanks a lot, appreciate it. Very 350 wins says a lot about longevity, appreciating Fairfield, and the athletic director there was Gene Doris, the president was Jeff Von Arx, and the vice president Mark Reed, then going over to Providence College with Brian Shanley, Bob Driscoll, and then Ken Sicard taking over, and obviously coming here with Lee Reed, Jack DeGioia. And a common denominator with all those jobs is Mike Tranghese. So, you know, when you think about wins, you think about the people that help you get there. You think about the players that help you get there, the environments of which you play in. I'm blessed to be a head coach for 19 years and blessed to work for incredible people. So this is not a individual win. This is a team win for all those people that gave me the opportunity to try to live, you know, something that I never thought I'd be able to do. And some 19 years later, we're still trying to get better. So I appreciate you saying that. I thought today, you know, obviously a very short turnaround. I thought it tested us not so much from a physical standpoint, but from a fundamental defensive standpoint, right? There wasn't a lot of set plays, so we had to stick to our fundamental principles of ball gap help, trying to take away threes as they make 10 threes a game. They play a lot in transition, averaging 80 some odd points. So I thought in 3 consecutive games we got better defensively. Now, obviously the competition is going to change, and we systematically scheduled this way to build confidence, continuity, chemistry, and let our players feel what it is to win. And that's, you know, that's something that hopefully will have some carryover as we now get ready to head on the road for the first time, right? We've had the home cooking, right? And, you know, the level of play will step up tenfold. So we're excited about that, but we feel we're prepared, and hopefully we'll go out there and compete at an elite level.
And there was a moment there late in the first half, they got within 2, and you kind of had the, you know, what the heck look basically after a couple of weak defensive possessions. And last year, that's the sort of thing where you guys probably would have had to burn through a couple timeouts, and this year kind of partially corrected itself. I'm sure you guys had some things to say at halftime. Was that a sign of maturation, just the way that you guys kind of were able to fix that on the fly, basically, and be able to pull away there later on?
There's been about 6 or 7 instances with this group that we purposely haven't called timeout to see how they would weather it, because we're going to have instances where we're going to be on the road, we're going to make mistakes, and in the end of that half, I thought it was a bad coaching error with a substitution. We wanted to look at a different combination. Nothing against the players, as I put them in a tough situation. But we also overcame that we had 3 out of 4 possessions where we turned the ball over, and I don't think they were forced turnovers. I just think it was mental errors. But in saying that, we were able to recover from it, and we did make a big jump from last year's situation. That's why there's 14 new players on the roster.
For both Thomas and Caleb, just how prepared do you guys feel at this point, a month in, having had this chance to kind of get yourselves established as college players for what is to come, since the preliminaries are basically pretty much over at this point?
I feel that right now that we're more connected than we were in the beginning of the season. Because in the beginning of the season, we was just like figuring each other out, you know, who can make the right plays here and there. So I feel like now we're more connected and more all in, more together, and we should be able to come out with wins on the road. So.
Yeah, and adding on to Tommy, I feel like that connection that we're starting to build as a team is definitely going to come into play, you know, when we go on the road and play against these big teams. But also when we hit adversity. For me, a freshman, you know, I'm going to be looking to, you know, lean on some guys, and I'm sure they're going to be right there to, you know, build me up and keep encouraging me.
And one last thing for Ed, you know, Julius having his surgery and whatnot, obviously a tough break for you guys. Any idea how long that might be, and also how does that kind of change the composition of your front court as you move forward?
Yeah, it does. So, you know, when you look at when Julius arrived in the States, you know, we really didn't get him here to Georgetown until September. You know, he had a medical setback, then he had a really bad sprained ankle, so that was a 3-4 week process. Then trying to get him into rhythm, get him in shape. You know, he was getting there, his minutes started to go up, as you can see. and then we get this on Friday, you know, a legit break. I don't know what the timetable is. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be substantial. And the one thing we'll always do as a university and as a staff is make sure that the player is 100% ready before we try to bring him back. I don't foresee that in the very near future. You know, we're gonna be there for him emotionally because I'm pretty sure he's beating himself up. So as a family, we'll make sure we protect him on that. And it does change our composition. Obviously, when you have a 7-foot person that skilled, that big, it changes a lot. So somebody else will have to step up. We may have to change our style a little bit when we change the lineup. We got our work cut out because he was somebody we would definitely count on.
Marcus?
Coach, over the last couple of games, Malik has been a lot more efficient. Is that just a product of just getting used to where his spots are and when it's kind of his time?
Well, Coach Battle does a great job with our point guards, and you know, we watch a lot of film with him. We have one-on-one conversations with him. He's trying to get comfortable with his teammates. He's trying to get comfortable with the way he's being coached, the accountability that that we demand from him. He has to be a 3-level player, right? I want him to score it. I want him to pass it. I want him to lead. We want him to play with energy. We want him to play with enthusiasm. We want him to defend. So I think all of that, and he's a focal point. So it's not like he's on the stat sheet or the scouting report as a nod. People are excited to play against Malik Mack.
And have you seen opponents, especially with Micah Peavy, have you seen opponents start game planning for him more just because he has been so offensive forward here at Georgetown as opposed to TCU?
Haven't felt that yet because I think every game we've played, he's been the best athlete on the floor, and he can impact winning in so many ways other than scoring. I thought his defense today changed the game, right? And I don't even know, I think he scored 8 points. The other day he had 20-some-odd points. So he's a unique player that doesn't need scoring to impact the overall game. They're gonna have to, somebody's got a game plan for him. I hope nobody game plans for him. I really don't. But I think the coaches are too smart to see his ability to change a game.
And for the student athletes, both games this weekend, the second half, you guys have taken off offensively. Just what have the conversations been with you guys at halftime that have kind of pushed you forward to those big second halves?
Coming into halftime, we always talk about, coming out with energy and like coming out just with a burst, a different type of burst of energy. So we come out with that energy and it's just over from there. So
And today, we had a message: just keep wearing them down. It's not going to be one play that's going to take us up 20. It's not going to be one shot that wins us the game. So just multiple possessions back to back to back. Just keep stacking good possessions, and we'll get the output we want.
We'll go to Bobby Bear and then Ron Bailey.
Ed, you mentioned that you scheduled this way for a reason. It's been a long time since the Notre Dame game. How do you think you guys have improved since then?
I think we've improved substantially, right? And I believe it's a fair question. I think that was game 3 for us. When you look at what their retention was, you can see systematically they were way ahead of us, right? The portal guys that they brought in were all older, right? They're 2 front court guys who I think impacted the game the most. I don't think Shrewsbury in that game hurt us. I don't think Burton hurt us. To the guard, it was, their front court where they were extend the floor. We missed a lot of shots. I think we took too many threes. I don't think I did a good job coaching, but you got to give them credit. They came in here and kicked our ass, and we've gotten substantially better because of that game. And I'm glad we played that game that early, given the growth that I see with our men.
Is there a particular area that you've seen this growth in your team?
Maturity, know-how, games, just playing games. You get all these new guys, we got all these freshmen that we play. They've never played in college yet. They've never been held this accountable. We micro-pick everything, right? Our staff does an incredible job. I'm blessed to have the staff that we have. But from offensive continuity to defensive principles to spacing on the floor offensively to trying to play more in transition has probably been the biggest thing that I'm pretty sure many of you are seeing. We want to play in transition, and we want to play through Thomas, right? Thomas is a very unique big that can pass, shoot, catch, and finish.
Thomas, you won the Big East Rookie or Freshman of the Week for the 3rd time. What does that mean to you, and what do you think it says about the program?
I appreciate that a lot, and I feel like it puts our team more out there for everyone to see that we're coming and we're a problem. So I appreciate the freshman of the week 3 times, and just try to keep on going. Just keep on going from there.
You guys were out rebounded for at least a large portion of the first half, turned it around in the second. Was that due to just the increased energy, like the guys just noted? Was it just an energy thing, or what would you attribute out turning your rebounding around?
Well, the one thing I'm seeing with this group is their second half engagement. And I think this is probably our 5th or 6th game we've played where our conversation at halftime, is something that clicks with the group, whether it's their focus, their attention to detail, their conversation amongst one another before we, the coaches, come in. That's growth and development in itself, where they're having a conversation. And I think many of the games are second half offensively, and then attention to detail, taking away the known, has really grown. So I'm learning that about this group for sure.
Do you think Caleb is getting more comfortable? It seems like he's making plays all over the court, but he's just playing with a lot more confidence, a lot more certainty. Do you think he's feeling better?
I like to believe our staff coaches' confidence. Everybody sees the growl on our faces, but they don't understand the message, right? I tell the players all the time, I'm an emotional coach, but don't listen to the anger, listen to what the message is, right? Because, unfortunately, we pick out a lot of the wrong, but I'm appreciative of the right. And again, I think he's steady Eddie with that. He's got a lot more development to go. We're still getting him in better shape, still getting him with the speed of the game that he's catching up to. The speed of the game was really hard for him at first, for both freshmen, right? For both freshmen that are here. But I think they're getting to it because of the pace of practice.
Caleb, talk about that improvement, you getting better.
Yeah, I'll just say in practice, my teammates pushed me in. I've all summer and through the preseason, I've had Micah guarding me. So that that definitely prepares me that type of defensive energy. I'm just going up against that every day. But then also I feel like my coaches and my teammates put a lot of trust in me. So just feeling that trust, that confidence, that he's telling y'all about is real, and that definitely plays a part in my performance.
Thank you.
Go to Jeremy and then John Titel.
Thomas, you're 6 of 7 from the floor, 11 from 12 from the line. Was that just you getting into a rhythm that kind of let you do that today?
Yeah, I would say it was just like me just trying to dominate my position. We found out that they had a smaller interior, so we was just going to attack that, and that's what the game plan was.
John?
That was a great question I was going to ask. So I got
All right. Is there anyone else?
I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Lou Carnesecca, right? When you think of the Big East, right, you think of big coach, you think of Massimino, you think of Boeheim, right? You think of Calhoun, and then one of the biggest personalities that really propelled the Big East to what it became, what it is, and where we're trying to go. I have an opportunity to meet him several times. He'll be missed. And I appreciate all the energy he put into the Big East and all the love he put into the Big East, and made Georgetown St. John's game relevant. I remember sitting there watching it in 84, 85, right? That was fun to watch. And that to sit in those seats now as a head coach, I couldn't be more appreciative. So we're definitely blessings to St. John's and his family members and all of his former players and coaches and managers. He'll be missed, and the Big East will definitely miss him. Thanks.
Thank you.